Writing was always something I really enjoyed doing. Like as a child, I would have written stories and poems and diaries and kind of always had stories going on in my head. My journey here studying French and legal science, I did an arts degree, and there I would have encountered a good base of what can be done with language. I know as an undergrad I began to think about things that I may not have thought about in the same way before. Once I graduated, then ultimately I trained to become a teacher, and I met Siobhan Parkinson, who has been such a great mentor to me and has been my publisher and editor for many years with Little Island. I would never have been brave enough to take her course if it wasn't for what I learned in the University of Galway. My first novel, Prim and Proper, came out in 2010, and since then I've written approximately 10 more books. There was a real emphasis on connectedness in my undergrad, and I felt part of a community of learning, honing what you're studying. You're kind of exposed to all the different faculties because there's so much crossover and cross-pollination of ideas and interests, and it is like that, or at least when I went there, and I think still from walking around, it's very connected. There is a real community feeling to it. And I remember the first time I read a poem I'd written, my hands were just going. The more I did it, the more seriously I allowed myself to take my own work. And that, I suppose, was the sea change. I became a writer here. And that was obviously very important for me. And I went on to do the Masters in Drama and Theatre Studies. I would have leaned into the writing side, which was what interested me. But I found I really enjoyed reviewing because you're looking at a text and dissecting it. And it's similar, I suppose, when you study any literature. You're analysing a text and looking at what works for you and what doesn't, but not from the point of view of being entertained. It's deeper than that. You're wondering why this doesn't work for you and what craft went into it. So I think you learn the building blocks of making your own thing by breaking down what other people have made. I firmly believe you have to be a close reader to be a writer. And a lot of my books would draw on other texts. I really enjoy retelling and looking at the climate in which stories are retold, and the stories that we choose to amplify and those that we don't. And that's something that I really keep coming back to as a writer.